Nebraska's trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight, outdated radios and equipment are causing communication struggles for rural fire departments.
Plus, after two major bank collapses, we talk to local experts on how safe your money is.
But first tonight, a missing dog brings an international pet investigator to Lincoln. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. The pet detective is in the capital city, hitting the ground running on a case they hope doesn't go cold.
It all started at the Petco near 48th and O Street after a family dropped off their dog to be groomed. Well, that dog disappeared. Channel 8's Jatine Tinsley has more in tonight's top story.
An international pet detective, boots on the ground, a $1,000 reward, and a family in tears. Sound unusual? Well, it's actually more common than you think. According to the Humane Society, nearly 10 million pets go missing in the United States every year. Of those, 15% of dogs and 2% of cats are reunited with their owners. Karen Tarquin has helped find missing pets from Omaha, Lincoln, and even Ecuador. She volunteered for missing persons search and rescue for years, and later transferred her skills to pets.
They just had a call that he was sighted over on Cotner. So now we're rushing over that way with one of the dogs so they can pick up the scent and continue to track him.
Tarquin is helping the Musterman family and their dog Oliver, a 3-year-old cattle-dog mix. He went missing from a Lincoln Petco on Saturday.
It was a freak accident. They said as they put him in the kennel, he, pawed his way at the door and pushed it open somehow. And as they were opening the door to let a new dog in, he slipped in between their legs and ran out the front of the store.
Shortly after, Oliver was spotted limping and being hit by a car. Pet detective Tara Quinn uses a variety of standard canine tracking techniques that are used all over on missing people to find Oliver. The process includes training the canine to pick up the scent of the missing dog and then let him scour the streets to alert the pet detective team when the scent is picked up. Tarquin says finding missing pets is harder than you may think.
It's not just as simple as throwing down a tracking dog and running after it. You really got to start spiraling and seeing. The key is we have to get that pet owner in front of that dog to see if he'll go, that's my person.
Personality profiles also come into play when trying to find a missing pet or person. Oliver is dubbed a STARS dog.
He's shy, timid, aloof, reserved, and skittish. That means that he doesn't generally allow a stranger to approach. So he's not really very flexible in his personality, and he's likely to bolt.
Tarquin also says the community plays a pivotal role when trying to find missing pets and people. Without tips of sightings, cases can quickly go cold.
Now, we did reach out to Petco to see how Oliver was able to escape. They declined to comment, saying they're looking into the incident. All right, now an update on how the City of Lincoln is utilizing the American Rescue Plan funding it's received.
The city has so far used about half of the more than $100 million they were given. The money has gone to various corners of the city. Most notably, it went to the Workforce Development Program, tourism support grants, small business utility, and stabilization grants. The stabilization grants have made an impact, especially for one local restaurant, Dish in downtown.
This rent grant allowed us to feel some of those losses a little bit less. It allows us to know that we were going to be able to make ends meet at the end of the month because we didn't have that heavy rent burden for a few months while we continued to pivot and rebuild. I know that without this grant, without grant programs like this, Dish would not have been able to stay afloat.
The city has until the end of the year 2026 to spend all of the money the federal government has given out in ARPA funding. Coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, we'll tell you more about some of the programs the money will be going to next. Now to the Capitol, a legislative bill aims to equip fire departments with updated communication devices. Many rural fire departments say their radios are outdated, which could mean a barrier for their mutual efforts.
Channel 8's Veronica Barreto joins us now with more on this story. Veronica?
In Nebraska, only 27 of the state's over 400 rural fire departments and ambulance services have radios that can connect to the statewide radio system. That is why State Senator Tom Brewer is sponsoring the new bill. The legislative measure would allocate $26 million to address the shortage of portable radios. They say many of the radios do not work on the same frequency. The bill would allow the upgrade of 2 portable radios and 2 truck radios to work off the Nebraska state radio system.
Proper communication is oftentimes going to make or break the success or failure of a call. And if we don't have our departments, our trucks, our personnel outfitted with the appropriate communications, we're just setting ourselves up for failure.
The total expense per department for this equipment is estimated to cost up to $52,000, which in some cases is more than their annual budget. And coming up at 6 o'clock, I will take a closer look at the bill, and we will hear more on how communications is essential when responding to emergencies and wildfires.
All right. Thank you, Veronica. Well, 30 acres of land near Alma, Nebraska, burned yesterday after a controlled burn resparked.
The Alma Volunteer Fire Department put out the fire within 30 minutes, but about 30 acres were burned. The dry conditions and the wind gusts yesterday didn't help. The Alma Fire Chief encourages Nebraskans to be cautious and to remember last year's destructive fires as we head into this year's fire season.
All right, let's say hello to spring and hello to Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins. Not a bad day to kick off the work week.
Yeah, we're not even an hour into spring, and temperatures feel like spring out there for some of us. Some of us not so much, which we'll look at here in just a second. But outside right now, lots of sunshine, temperatures in the 60s for many of us, and not a whole lot of wind. Here's what it looks like outside right now in Beatrice. We've got Schoen's roofing cam fired up and lots of sunshine, a mixture of clouds and sun. This is at South 6th Street and Perkins. We do have a very mild day out there. It's 63 in Beatrice, 67 in Lincoln, 64 in Friend and Nebraska City, 62 in Hebron, but some 50s just off to the north and west. Columbus, Central City, Aurora, and Grand Island, all in the 50s. We'll zoom out and show you that there's even some 30s out there. So this is spring in Nebraska right here. 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s for temperatures from one side of the state to the other. That's just typical right there. Much warmer in southeast Nebraska than it was 24 hours ago. Much cooler in north central and well, much of the western and northern half of the state. The wind, not too bad. It's out of the south at 10 to 20 miles per hour where it's warmer. Where it's colder, it's out of the northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. A mixture of clouds and sun with a few raindrops way into the western fringes of the panhandle. So tonight we'll drop into the lower 60s by 6 p.m., 53 degrees by 8 o'clock, and into the 40s by 10 o'clock this evening. So not a bad way to start off spring. We'll see if these warmer temperatures continue in just a few minutes.
Sounds good, Rusty. Thank you very much. Well, today is an important day for the city. It's the first day folks can vote early. The 2023 city elections are upon us, and it's time to start thinking about voting in the election.
The primary election is April 4th, but voting has already started.
You can either do it in person here in the office between 8 and 4:30. We also mailed out the early ballots. The first batch go out today, just over 12,000. And right now we have over 31,000 requests. So over the course of the next 5 days, we plan to get all those ballots out.
The primary is a very short window to get votes in before Election Day. If you are voting by mail, make sure you send it in as soon as possible because the post office can be slow sometimes. Yes. And while Nebraska overwhelmingly voted in support of voter ID, until the legislature passes the voting reform bill, actually, you do not need to show photo ID right now to vote. Local banks and credit unions say despite turmoil in the banking world, you can still trust Nebraska banks.
Channel 8's Matthew Mittleider has more on that story for us. Talked to some local banks. Matthew?
By now you've heard about the national bank closures, such as the Silicon Valley Bank that shut down earlier in March. Here in the Midwest, however, experts say your money is probably not at risk of being lost. I spoke with Union Bank and Trust here in Lincoln, who say banks in Nebraska are much more conservative and don't have the same issues with liquidity. One financial advisor says what happened with the Silicon Valley Bank was too many companies deciding to take large amounts of their money out and they couldn't meet demand.
sometimes people will call it a run on the bank, where it's just a bunch of people, you know, kind of the herd mentality where one person says, oh, this bank might have trouble, I'm going to take my money out. And then the next person does the same thing. Word spreads, everybody wants to take their money out, and banks aren't designed, no bank's designed to be able to meet 100% of liquidity.
They say there isn't any reason to panic and take all your money out of the bank, but this may be a wake-up call to keep from putting all your eggs in one basket and instead spread out your investments. Banks and credit unions say that with Nebraska's diversified economy, banks here are stronger and safer when it comes to your money. They also say that with federal insurance, the risk of losing money is minimal. I'll have more in the story at 6 tonight.
Looking forward to it, Matthew. Thank you very much. And on that same note, we turn now to the latest on the global efforts to avoid a potential international banking crisis.
The FDIC says New York Community Bank has agreed to purchase a big chunk of the failed Signature Bank for $2.7 billion. So starting today, 40 branches of Signature Bank will be renamed Flagstar Bank.
And the Swiss government smoothing the path for investment banking giant UBS to purchase its struggling rival Credit Suisse for more than $3 billion. Financial experts and Swiss regulators agree the move will likely prevent wider financial chaos.
I think the biggest risk has been removed, or there was no choice for policymakers to do what they did over the weekend, and they did it belatedly. They should have done it before.
Both Fed Chairman Jerome Powell and Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen are praising the UBS Credit Suisse deal to increase global financial stability and emphasizing that the U.S. banking system remains strong.
Well, next month, the Girl Scouts will have their most important fundraiser of the year, minus the cookie sales. The event is called Art Venture.
It's a way to connect established Nebraska artists with Girl Scouts to collaborate on original works of art. Then on April 22nd, those works will head to UNO's Mammal Hall. In the afternoon, the girls will get to view their pieces in a gallery alongside the artists that they worked with. And later, all the art will go up for auction. Tickets start at $75, and if you'd like to attend that preview party, they're $150.
This is our largest fundraising event in addition to our cookie program. We are still accepting sponsorships. There are tickets available online, as well as artists who might want to submit their works of art.
All of the proceeds from this event go back into the programs for the Girl Scouts, giving them experience and skills in everything from the STEM fields to entrepreneurship. To donate to the event or become a sponsor or buy tickets, visit girlscoutsnebraska.org. Still to come on the news tonight, the latest on a hyper-realistic scam targeting job seekers.
That plus your full forecast with Rusty right after the break. According to the Better Business Bureau here in Nebraska, job scams have climbed to number 2 on the list of riskiest scams. They're actually called job board scams.
They follow a surge of workers re-entering in hybrid jobs into the workforce following COVID-19. These types of scams are focused on sites like LinkedIn or Indeed. An expert saying many fall victim to the quote high-touch scams with listings that often look realistic and in some cases even sending victims bogus checks.
But of course, it takes about a week for a check to actually clear. And in that time, they would then be asked to purchase office equipment from an obscure site, like a lookalike site that was not real.
Job seekers are encouraged when applying to hybrid positions to vet them thoroughly in order to avoid losing time, money, and other working opportunities.
Now, your Storm Alert team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
Since it's officially spring, I thought we'd take a look at some of the numbers so far. Precipitation, liquid precipitation for 2023 so far, so January, February, and most of March, 3.18, which is a little above average by just over 1/2 inch. Last year, we only had 1.64, which was almost an inch below. So we're doing better. So far, so good. We could definitely use some more. And snowfall is, well, 14.3 inches, which sounds like quite a bit, but we're actually about almost 10 inches below average. But last year, well, 2021, 2022, way below, about almost 20 inches below snowfall. So we're better than we were last season, but this season we still need, and April, it can snow in April. It's usually not a lot. We average about 1.5 inches, but it was back in 2020 that we saw about 5 inches of snow in the month of April. So we'll see. High temperatures today, spring for some, winter for others. Look at O'Neill and Valentine in the upper 30s, but Lincoln 67 for a high so far, 64 Hebron, 65 in Nebraska City, almost 60 in Grand Island, 61 in Holdridge. So a really warm mass of air just about got into central Nebraska. Lots of sunshine. This is Southeast Community College, just gorgeous out there, 67 degrees, 67. 55 in Columbus, 54 in Central City, 59 in Grand Island. The wind, this is helping. It's out of the south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies, but a little bit of light precipitation. That's going to play a part in something which I know it's spring, but interestingly enough, we have a winter weather advisory in place because of this mixed bag of precipitation. That moves off to the north and east by Tuesday late afternoon, but I think around noon, 1 o'clock, some light freezing drizzle, freezing rain, mixed precipitation possible. So this area shaded in purple is a winter weather advisory from 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. Tuesday, mainly for the potential for freezing rain. So we could have some travel concerns for parts of central and western Nebraska as we head through the middle part of tomorrow. Tonight, temperatures mild. We should be in the lower 30s for this first part of spring. Instead, we'll be in the upper 30s, maybe even a few 40s out there with a south wind helping to keep us mild at 5 to 15 miles per hour. But 38 degrees, that's above average by about 6 or 7 degrees. So I guess we'll take it. Mostly cloudy, a spot shower here and there. I think most of us will just be partly to mostly cloudy. 38 degrees, that south wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Then tomorrow, not as warm. It'll be hard to beat these 60s. I think that was just kind of a one and done thing. We are going to see those temperatures cool off just a little bit as we head through the next 24 to 48 hours. 51 degrees. So cooler, 55 in Beatrice, 53 in Seward, 50 in Columbus, 53 in York. Again, a few showers here and there. I think most of it should be to our north and west. 51, that southeast wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour. So isolated showers on Tuesday, a few evening showers possible on Wednesday, a little warmer on Wednesday, then back down we go a little bit on Thursday, back into the middle 50s on Friday, 60 for the first day of the weekend on Saturday, but rain and maybe even some mixed precipitation Sunday into Monday if that liquid changes over to some snow as we get into the overnight hours with those temperatures dropping into the 20s. And then up and down we go. Really, most of these temperatures are at or below average for this time of year, but that's typical of the first few weeks of spring. So I guess we'll we'll just have to deal with it.
Yeah, today, beautiful. I was so thankful the winds took a break after yesterday. My goodness.
That was nice to see.
All right, thank you very much, Rusty. A great day on Wall Street. The Dow gaining 383 points. NASDAQ is also up 45 points. S&P adding around 35. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source.
This week, China and Russia.
Finally tonight, 90 is a little up there to be a new dad. I think we would all agree, right? But don't tell that to Mr. Pickles. These are his kids. Mr. Pickles is a radiated tortoise who lives at the Houston Zoo. He's the oldest animal at the zoo. He and his mate, Mrs. Pickles, have been together since her arrival to the zoo back in 1996. These cuddly baby reptiles are named Dill, Gherkin, and Jalapeno.
Oh, what cuties, Mr. Pickles. Even though 90 may not be so old for a tortoise, it surprised the zoo when Mrs. Pickles laid eggs. A quick-thinking worker spotted her laying them as the zoo was closing, and experts snatched them up. The baby Pickles are important because radiated tortoises are critically endangered. They've been over-collected for the illegal pet trade, and they don't produce many offspring. As you can see, there's only 3 little Pickles.
You know, it sounds like a children's book. Meet Mr. and Mrs. Pickles.
Oh, I know. Let's write one.
We could.
There you
We
go.
could make millions.
We could. We're done. We quit.
Or lose millions. I don't know. Let's get a recheck of the weather with Rusty.
I'd buy that book in a second.
Yeah, we'd make it fun.
Yeah, that's tickles. I mean, how can you go wrong with a name like that? Yeah. Absolutely awesome. Hey, today was pretty awesome too, at least for most of the state. We got into the 60s for most of south central and southeastern Nebraska. Temperatures are going to take a little bit of a hit over the next several days, due in part to kind of a north wind, which is out there right now in Aurora. This is Penner Bathing Solution camera. You can see a mixture of clouds and sun, more sun than clouds, but temperatures are a little cooler the further north and west you go. So here you go, 67 in Lincoln, but at Aurora it's 58, so almost 10 degrees cooler because of that north wind. 63 in Beatrice, 55 in Columbus, 47 in Norfolk, and warmer in York at 61 degrees. So it all kind of depends on where that wind is coming from. We have a mixture of clouds and sun, a couple of raindrops in the Panhandle, but most of the state is dry, and we may see a spot shower overnight. But tomorrow we have a little bit of freezing drizzle potential out there, maybe some freezing rain. So winter weather advisory for parts of central and western Nebraska, basically from Valentine to North Platte. Could see some travel concerns in that area. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, temperatures all in the 50s. Chance for a spot shower Tuesday, then again Wednesday night.
All right, thank you, Rusty, and thank you for joining us.
Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you right back here at 6 o'clock.
With the